Hi, my name is Gerhard Schwantner and welcome to Selling Power's Daily Report. Today we continue our conversation with Brian Dietmeier. He's the founder and CEO of Think Inc. Welcome, Brian.
Great to be back again.
Yesterday we talked about the it in the negotiation, and today we're going to talk about how are we going to pay for it. What's your strategy?
Right. Well, so one of the most difficult verbal tactics that our clients tell us about is the notion that it costs too much, or I can get the same thing cheaper elsewhere. So yesterday we did talk about clarifying the it before we talk about how much we pay for it. So
you need to sharpen your pencil.
Right. You need to sharpen your pencil. My budget is only this. You need to lower your price. It's very similar to defining the it, and many times a professional buyer will have oversimplified to say it is the same as everyone else, and in fact it isn't. Well, the same thing happens on price, to say this deal is all about price. And again, in a very complex B2B deal with a professional buyer and a professional seller, chances are that there's an awful lot more to be negotiated. In a very simple sense, it's all the products and services that are on the table. It is all the terms and conditions that are on the table, and many times there's more creative sort of partnership trades that are thrown in there as well. So to oversimplify this thing as saying that it is all about price virtually doesn't happen in a complex B2B deal. And I can give you an example. We're working with one of the large box retailers, and they were buying carpet. They were sourcing carpet, and of course you can guess that the negotiation was all about price per yard of this carpet. And they beat each other up and they beat each other up, and they stopped and they started broadening this thing beyond just the price of the carpet to, they got to how much will I buy, how long will the agreement be for, and it got better, but they were still not able to find agreement even after adding in, who will warehouse it, and so they began looking for more and more creative things to trade in this deal. And long story short, it turns out that the retailer had a consumer database that the carpet manufacturer would love to gain access to, and vice versa. One of the trades they made was melding these two consumer databases and using this database to drive some consumer-based marketing programs, selling carpet, of course, and driving people to the store. And it turns out that the money they saved by not having to build this database and the revenue they created by the marketing opportunity far exceeded any price per yard discount or price increase that they could have gotten. So that broadening business deals, again, thinking not in terms of selling and negotiating, but thinking in terms of doing business deals, just getting clarity on what is it that's being negotiated, and then getting clarity on how much we'll pay for it. It's just not as simple as price.
So there's an element of creativity involved, because what you're suggesting is that the salesperson looks at other avenues for adding value to the customer.
Absolutely, and it's the thing that I love about it is the concept. I'm a lifelong salesperson, sales manager, and this concept of creating value is very frustrating to me because it feels smoky.
Right.
Well, when you can trade terms and conditions and create value, small value, but by simply shifting risk back and forth and that sort of thing, by length of contract and raw materials clauses. And then you're right, then it gets into the very creative stages of creating the big value, which is saying, let's come up with some great trades. I'll give you a quick personal example. I, of course, use this stuff in my daily life, and I have a rental property. And rent seems like one of those commodity kind of situations where, we either lower the rent or bring it up and down. And I ended up trading. I ran an ad where we rent the apartment cheaper if someone has a dog. And the reason I did this is not only did it capture a lot of attention because people are used to paying more, is that it was a built-in playmate for my dog. And the thing that I like about doing that is that it was a trade that created some real value, where I literally said, you can come here and you can stay here cheaper, and now I don't have to pay to have another service come in and walk my dog every day.
So it sounds like that you've creatively resolved the value issue in advance, and it seems to me that value gap is nothing but a wake-up call for creativity and negotiation.
Yeah, it is. Again, beginning with the basics of the products and services and terms and conditions, and then going to the real creativity.
Thank you, Brian. We're going to continue our conversation with Brian Dietmeier tomorrow, and we talk about how to prepare, present, and negotiate attractive offers so you can win.